Right, there we go.
Yeah, solid.
So if I get this going, need a drink right something. No.
Yeah, no worries.
Get comfy. Try to put them here. Okay, right, so we're here. Okay, we're good to go.
Yeah, cracking.
All right, bud, if I play around the sound a little bit while you're talking, don't get offended.
No worries.
Yeah, so that sounds a little bit better, doesn't it? Let's just... Go on, you talk for me, buddy.
Yep, you're right. How's it going?
How's it going?
We're all good, yeah, ready to crack on.
I think. There we go. Bit
That's
louder.
decent, yeah.
Okay, we're
Cool.
we're cavemen. We're figuring this shit out.
I think you figured it out more than me, mate.
I think I have, but it's pretty difficult to know if it's right or not, I guess.
Seems right.
I know, I'm going to keep playing with it to death, aren't I? Right, bud, tell us a little bit about what you do.
All right, mate. Well,
Microphone.
Lewis Wenlock. I run logical lifting.
Turn it a bit over there, so it's just under here.
I run logical lifting at the Zircon, which stands for the House of Strength in Farsi, because my dad's Iranian, he's Persian, so that was kind of like a cool spin on designing the gym. I didn't just want to call it like Lose Fitness or something, But yeah, so we run that in West Orton, and that's kind of been going since post-lockdown or throughout the COVID bit, because I used to, as you know, be at Moe's, and then with the government money and all that crap that was going on, thought, right, let's set up on our own. And that's what we do. We just get people from many, many backgrounds, just people who generally want to get fit, they want to get thinner, they want to get stronger, or people who compete, there's fighters, strongmen, powerlifters, etc. Yeah, that's how we do
so what's kind of your ethos when it comes to training? So what's your, I know everyone's a bit different, everyone's got different goals.
Right.
But what are kind of like some of your things you're trying to achieve with training people?
Well, taking it back, I used to be super, super dogmatic. Whenever anyone came in, regardless of like the goals, they'd be like, right, they must squat, bench and deadlift. No matter what. I don't care if you got a bad back, that's me, that's what we're going to do. So that was probably me being like a poor coach at the time. But over a while, even like in my own training, like I got ill, so I couldn't really do many things. And that kind of just evolved into like, just give the people what they want. Obviously, they're coming to you as an expert. They're putting the faith in you, they're putting the money, they're financially invested in you, they're trusting you. What do they want, and how can I deliver it the best way possible? Obviously, if they put something to me and I can put like a better spin on it, in my opinion, I'm going to do that. If, they want something and it is unrealistic, like, don't get me wrong, I like setting pretty stupid goals for people. If someone wants to squat 500 pounds and the current max is like 100 pounds, it's probably not going to happen soon, but I like the enthusiasm. I like it. So let's go for it. Yeah, it's a dumb goal, but let's go for it. But if it is something really out there, you kind of got to rein them in a bit. And that's like part of the job as a coach, isn't it? Especially, going off on a tangent now with young lads, I've noticed the main issue you've got is reining them in. They want to train 7 days a week and they want to curl 7 days a week. So you've kind of just got to step in there, almost like you're like the daddy, aren't you, with young lads? You got to be like, right, no, stop. And just guide them. And just, that's it. Your job as a coach is just to guide people into to the best of your ability.
Well, I think very much so, like you said, you almost become a father figure sometimes.
Yeah, and beyond that, I think possibly going into like dark territory, but you become like somewhat of a counsellor. I mean, I'm not going to say therapist, but people confide in you. When they go through the darkest times, they see you quite often. Like people see me 4 times a week. So if they've lost a loved one, lost a pet, going through the worst times of their life, they usually, if they've built that trust, they usually do confide in you. And it can be quite heavy at times, and you're like, oh, wow, all right, I've got to kind of console this, but I don't really know how to handle this. So you do your best for people, but some of it is like you go home thinking, wow, shit, that was heavy. But yeah.
I think it's sort of things I've come to realise, and that this is in like rehab and it's in fitness as well, is behaviour change a big one.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get people to change the behaviours. You're trying to get them to improve.
Yeah.
And you find for them to do that, it's not just a case of like, okay, improve your diet, exercise more. It's like they've got a load of other shit going on in their life.
Yeah.
They've got a load of other stuff going on that's absolutely messing them up all the time. And you're just like, man, what do I do here? And you find yourself, like you said, dealing with stuff that you're definitely, especially as a PT who's just qualified, you're not equipped to deal with.
No.
Now, I've gone on, I've studied more, I've got a lot of experience, coaching people, I've had gyms, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I'm like, I've literally started my sports psychology masters in September because I was like, I need more here.
Yeah.
Because this is, especially when you've got these complex pain issues, especially now what I'm seeing is, so the thing I want to study and research really is the phenomena of the athletic identity in the general population.
Right. So
and that is basically the amount of people who are walking around and basically behaving like athletes in a lot of ways, a lot of negative stuff, but they're not.
Yeah.
Whether it is they do CrossFit, whether it is they do strongman, whether it is they do powerlifting, the whole idea, or just go to the gym, the whole identity revolves around it.
Yeah.
And then they get injured. And it's like the whole world's ending.
Yeah.
And then I'm that guy who's got to try and fix them, but I've also got to go, you know what? You're lifting 5-6 days a week. That's probably not great.
Yeah.
For where you want to get to right now. Yeah. And I'm telling them basically that I'm attacking their identity almost. They've built it around. And I'm talking about myself here as well.
Oh, yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah. You're this big, strong guy who's like, and then you get injured, and it's the shit you've been doing or not been doing.
The psychology of it is,
it's
hard.
And it's like, this is what I'm now seeing. I see so many fit and healthy people who you would class as fit and healthy.
Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah.
A couple of guys who are coming in tonight, one's a lifter, one's an ultra runner. People who do things that the general population don't necessarily do, but they're also some of the worst.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
And it's because of these negative behaviours, like you said, you've got to rein these people in. Yeah. But it's like me this morning. So I come to the gym, I work a lot of shit out. I'm figuring rehab out. I don't do as much lifting at the minute because I'm rehabbing my knee still. But while I'm rehabbing my knee, I'm like, right, I want to rehab my back as well. And I want to make sure my body's moving as good as it can possibly move. Going forward, I just want to feel good because I was in pain for so long and I just got good at managing it. So I'm doing all that shit. But I'm turning up, I'm working. So then I want to do it again. So it's like a Tuesday. I take into kind of, when I say sleeping in, getting up at like 7, 8.
Yeah.
And I come in early Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Last few weeks, been coming in Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'll pop in on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not doing loads, but then guess what? Today, got a little niggle in this calf.
Yeah. I've
got a little niggle in this shoulder. I'm like, well, and it's like, I can stretch it, I can get treatment on it. But I've not slept as much.
Yeah.
And I've been cutting as well.
Yeah.
I've been leaning out.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not eating as much either. That's why when
you're
got
not recovering as much.
You got here, I've got a bacon joint, I've got half a chicken, I've got some pineapple, and I'm like, you need to fucking eat, and then you need to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. But if you don't allow time for that, you might be in a rush, but you're actually going to hold yourself back loads.
Well, you kick yourself as well because it's like, damn, I know better. You should know better. I'm telling these people that I need to kind of heed my own advice. And I've been there, mate. You kick yourself. But going back to the bit where you said, I think you just want to feel healthy at the moment.
Yeah.
I think that is such a common thing for. I mean, initially, I know you were the same. You wanted to get super strong. You wanted a big squat, a big deadlift, a big bench. Same here. And then something happens down the line. And then when you are injured, you're thinking, that was cool and that, but I don't like feeling like this. I'd rather just, rehab and get a bit healthier. Still be strong in that, but you kind of, your goals change, don't they? You envision something different. Your perspective changes. It's like, right, I just want to be healthy. I want to be strong, but not that strong.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you is because I pretty much like your take on everything. It's pretty much always anti-bullshit. And it's always like, look, I'm open to shit. I really am.
Yeah.
But you find so many people who just chatting shit, or they're trying to badmouth everything else. They're trying to say, this is shit. Don't do this. I don't know if you've seen the guy, functional patterns guy.
It rings a bell.
he's started to pop up in that because I'm in the rehab space, I guess, and because I'm interested in anything that's there's value in everything, right?
Of course there is.
There's value in every sort of take. There's value in every sort of thing. Yeah. And his whole thing is lifting's wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong.
I have seen him.
And we need to do these stupid, complex movements.
Yes.
So there is some nuggets in what he's saying. So he mentioned he did a post on reciprocal inhibition the other day, which is basically a lot of stuff I talk about, which is stuff contracting and relaxing.
Yeah.
And that all happening. Now, there's research to back that up, that in the back, when the back gets injured, you lose that ability. Right. And the deep core activation, all the signal, they've measured the brain signals, and the brain signals basically get smudged so that, say, things like your deep core, your multifidus and that, you can't disassociate. So they all kind of move together. But that isn't how it moves. It moves by everything working, contracting, relaxing to initiate movement. So people go into this constant protective spasm. That's why people got a bad back are always fucking tight. Yeah. And they're always trying to do everything so mindfully, because that's what you're told. Yeah. You look into the fucking like Squat University. I've seen you put a few things on about it now. Yeah. I will say that I like how he bridges the bed to exercise, and I like how he identifies some stuff. And he's right. Some asymmetries and that can be risk factors. I get all that. Totally. But then my issue is that, like, it seems that every answer is more stability. Like with the back, I did all that. Yeah. When my back was fucked, I've got McGill's books out there. I spent £100 on one of them. Yeah, I've got his clinician books, and I've got his, story books, like about the gift of injury and all that. Is it Brian Carroll? Oh, I can't remember his name. Carroll, got injured, and he read that. And it's a cool story. I learned from it. I definitely did. I was doing my McGill Big 3. I was stretching every day. I was doing all these core activations. I had my psoas right. I had all these fucking things that were meant to fix me. And they didn't. I just do get me through the day. But that's not how the back works. No, of course. The back's meant to move. So this endless thing of just, same with shoulder, let's just put stability in. Yeah. It's like, that's probably not the issue. Yeah. That's, my take on it.
No, same, mate. I think initially, when he came about, was he called Aaron? Yeah. I think he was like a net positive. Some of the stuff he put out was great. And then, I don't know if fame got to his head or he needed to stay relevant, but there was just a big decline. And it was, everything he said was like in absolutes. It's like, this is happening because of this. Oh, to fix this, you need to do this. And it was like, oh, if your hip shifts a millimeter, like what did he put up that, it's become a meme now. Was it lifter A versus lifter B? It's like if lifter A lifts 500 pounds flawlessly, but lifter B lifts 650 pounds with like a hip shift, lifter A is stronger. It's like, no, he's not. In what universe are you thinking that is stronger? No, it's not. Like, just dumb takes like that. And that's what I don't like. Plus, and this is just my personal issue. Whenever someone gets, super, super, super popular, and everyone, even like newbies, are like sharing the posts and like basically sucking him off, it just like riles me. I'm like, oh, just shut up, man. But that's just my personal, give over.
Yeah, again, I think he's educating people, and that's a big one, because people know jack shit in general terms about the body and about health and fitness and muscles. And the problem is, the best they've probably got is a physio who's maybe spent 5 minutes with them, give them a resistance band and sent them on the way. I remember the first time a physio actually touched me and did something, I was like, they're God. Wow. Oh my God, because I managed my own shit for years. I was in my 30s before I ever seen anyone. I did all my bandage shit, I did all my foam rolling, I did all my body tempering, I did hanging upside down. I love Donnie Thompson shit. That shit that Andy Bolton was passing on to the British powerlifters through his seminars, that kept me going for years. But eventually, catches up to you. It's still not, it's like, it's a bandage. Like all these lads at CrossFit, they're dead good at it, you see. That are all mobilising, that culture's quite good, it seems. It does seem quite good in terms of do more of that. Like my gym, we always did a lot of that. And it will definitely help with some stuff. But you need more than that, and you need a better understanding, and you need to move more than up and down. And you can't keep, again, CrossFit's a great example. I was talking to a good CrossFitter the other day, and it was like, we were sort of saying the better ones, and the evolution seems to be seasons. We're going to Olympic lift. Like Olympic lifters. We're going to run like marathon runners. We're going to, and we're then going to put it together rather than wad. And it's the same with powerlifting. And I've talked to these lads in the strongman gym, especially some of the good ones, especially the young ones. I'm like, plan your season.
Yeah.
You need an off season, you need a pre-season.
Yeah.
You know, you need to
It can't just be comps, right?
No, I do a comp, and then I go, right, I've just fucking squatted 230.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to program for 240.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Yeah.
Straight away. Got my best lift I've done.
That's my new max. I'm going off that, right?
And let's add 10 key.
Yeah.
And let's go straight back in. I remember the last comp I did, pulled 250, failed 260, and I think I swore down a few days later I pulled a 240 deficit, like, 2-inch deficit.
Yeah.
Just like, why are you doing that? And I felt great. I was riding that wave. And then, and then some other bits happened, and before you know it,
and it crashes.
Crash and burn, and then you're in this terrible, terrible place.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, your general experience of like clinicians is dog shit. And like I said, when I finally did break down, I seen people, and then I seen all these different people, and the ones who actually would do hands-on stuff, and that was like fucking great.
Wow, where's this come from?
Yeah, this is, and all they were doing was masking the pain, which was allowing me to move.
Yeah.
They were using indifferential, they were using needles, they were doing things to just create an illogical response a lot of the time. But they still weren't addressing like big asymmetries. Because going back to what you said about that, Luke, you've got two guys, the one who can squat 600 odds, he's obviously stronger.
Yeah.
It's the way it is. And I'd expect to see some sort of issue.
Yeah.
So then as a good coach, you go, because my thing as a coach was always like, well, I can find out what's going on with you in different ways.
Yeah.
I can make you tired.
Yeah.
I can add load. And if I add load, I'm going to see what's pretty messed up pretty quickly. Now, I can also see it as, if you look shit with no load, because there's this thing about, if someone can't squat perfectly, don't give them any load. And I'm like, well, no, sometimes that stimulates them, activates the muscles, and then they actually improve. And I've done it with fucking, I don't want to say it like that, probably hundreds at this point, where I've gone, fucking, okay, sit down the box, well, that's shit, sit a bit higher, okay, now here's some load, take the load away, increase the range, and guess what, they can sit down lower.
Wow.
And it's dead simple. So you're like, no, I don't agree with that. But as a good coach, you would look at that max effort there and go, that went there. That could be something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a hip thing? And then you work on it.
Yeah.
But you can't go out there saying that guy's weaker. It's just, no, that guy doing 500, he's probably not at his limit.
Yeah.
Because I'm not, there's the odd freaks, Yuri Belkin, that fucking freak. And there's a few others who would like you, Luca, and they are more or less perfect.
Yeah.
But generally, you watch a max effort lift and you're going to see some backgrounding, you're going to see a hip shift, you're going to see a valgus, you're going to see something.
And I know that's like a point of contention with certain coaches. It's like, well, that's like your absolute max when everything goes to shit versus your technical max, and we only count this one. It's like, mate, if you lifted the weight, and if it looks like a squat, and you've got it, happy days. If it looks like a deadlift, and you've got it, happy days. It doesn't have to be perfect in my eyes, because no one is, and no one's totally asymmetrical. Everyone's asymmetrical to a point.
Yeah, everyone's...
It's just when it causes an issue.
Yeah, it's like if I look at someone and it's like, okay, like a girl in yesterday, knee pain, both knees, and she's just low walking, she's new to training, she's pounded her quads. That's all that's happened. She's absolutely pounded her quads.
Yeah.
So I loosen the quads off, that helps, and I give her a load of mobility work and some strengthening work.
Yeah.
So she's done that, she's getting better. But this left one's still tight. He's still giving her a bit of shit, right? So I'm like, okay, it's still quite tight. We've got a bit deeper. That's great. It's going to feel better. But before all that, we looked at her hip stability. And it is shit on that side compared to that one.
Yeah.
They've got better, but that one's still shitter. So it's like, okay.
Like significantly
shitter.
Yeah.
So
there we go then.
So that's why that knee's worse.
Right.
So it's like, but ultimately a lot of her issues, yes, tight quads, but a lot of it's coming from the hips.
Yeah.
And then you've got to go, well, before all this, what were you doing for recovery? What were you doing, diet-wise and everything? Plus, maybe she's doing a lot and it's good, it's admirable, but her body weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
So it's a case of we've now got to bridge that gap between where she wants to be. This is the problem, new people getting into activity.
Well, I was just going to say, going back to the first bit, when we were talking about newbies kind of trying to emulate pro athletes and pro lifters, it's like, yeah, they're doing too much too soon. If you've never lifted in your life and you're trying to copy Eddie Hall's diet and routine, it's like, you jump in the gun. You need to kind of build it. You need to build it up. Yeah. Stop idolizing or emulating these pros.
Someone sent me a young lad. Keen is out. He's dead funny. I've not had a message off him for 2 weeks, so he's overdue.
Right.
But I'll get a message where, there's a girl in the gym and I've got a bit too heavy. He's trying to impress some girl, or he's knackered his shoulder, or he wants to do white collar boxing, or he wants to do, I'm going to do some powerlifting now, or I'm getting back into rugby. You know, he's a young lad and he's looking for guidance. And he always, whether it be diet or so, he'll send me a diet, goes, this is a good diet. Sends me Tom Platz's leg routine and goes, is this a good leg workout? I just went, you will fucking die. Yeah. And he's like, what? I was like, mate, if you try that, you will fucking die. I don't care what, you know.
Even if you do what's on paper, because I don't think anyone can do Tom Platz's leg routine except Tom Platz, because you see him train, he was an absolute animal. I don't think I could emulate that. You know, it was just ridiculous.
I've done 20 rep squats, you've done 20 rep squats.
Yeah.
You've rep for days.
Yeah. But even like the, what was it? He was a big fan of like the partials, wasn't he, at the end? Yeah. No way, that'd just kill me. But even if you did how it was written out, I think for a new guy, it'd just burn him out. It'd just be toast.
I'm going to try it. And then he said he got 3 sets in and felt sick.
Yeah.
I'm like, no wonder. But that's the point. People do this shit. I've done it.
Yeah.
Small off. Let's have a go at that.
Small off, yes. Yeah,
I did 20 key to my squat for about a week and then couldn't lift anything for about 2.
Felt like death. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember having cuts on my hands and they wouldn't heal. I was that overtrained that I got emotional doing it. I remember reading reviews of it and like, make sure you have Skittles. Yeah. You know, because you just feel... I remember being the Dirk, I'd be doing a set and I'd be getting crushed. And I just... But... So we're talking about, you know, optimal training, not killing people.
Yeah.
I do think there's something to be said for a bit of grit.
Damn right.
And
I
think it's missing.
Yeah, damn right. You can baby people too much. Like going back to what we were saying about Squat U, some of his advice is good, but I think, and it is educational, like you said, but I think a lot of it now, it's more like fear mongering. People are scared, especially new lifters. They're scared to do something wrong slightly. Like we were talking about with the box squat with the girl, you know, they're scared of like having a slight hip shift or having an improper. Yeah. It's just
he scared the shit out of me.
That's why I think he's a net like negative now. I think he used to be decent, but
it's not just him.
No, it's not.
It's a rise of. So one of the things I like to Steve. So to get a therapy is. I tell him what was sore, and I watch him. So I watch him with clients. I watch because this is a guy who's very successful. He helps a lot of people. So I'm like, I want to learn from this guy.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I? So, and he's very empowering with them. So he builds them up. Yeah. You know, he's very complimentary. He's very like, we'll get you out of this. But he doesn't focus on that whatever's sore. He'll look at them. And he'll go, okay, this is a bit tight. And he knows from experience generally. Okay, you know, and there's that and all that to it. But he doesn't make a big deal about this point of pain. He's like, yeah, I know your back's sore. I'll get to that. But I need to sort this out. Because your leg's fucking really... Can you feel that? That is... Yeah, exactly. Because you've not even thought about that.
Yeah.
Rubs this. Doesn't even touch that. Oh, my God, it feels better. Yeah, because that was a neurological response to that.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like... But when you give people a diagnosis, when you educate them on some of these slip... I had a lad come in the other week. Oh, bad back. He's been told off physio. He's got nerve damage. He's got 2 impinging discs. Blood. Oh, have you had a scan, buddy? No. So, how the fuck did he know then?
Yeah.
Have you had any numbness? Have you had any tingling? Have you had any weakness? No. Well, mate, when I did my back and I had discs, I didn't feel my quad for 8 months.
Yeah.
That's an impingement.
Yeah.
That's nerve problems. Yeah. I had fucking spasms. And that's my own experience. And that's what it. And I know as a clinician, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And he's fucking. And I'm like. It's fine. Got him moving. And he's like, should I train? Fucking absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that's how you're going to get better.
Yeah.
Start with box squats. You know, don't go full range of motion yet because you're not ready to let go. But let's edge it in. Let's add some load and let's heal you. Because that's how it's going to heal. It's meant to move.
Yeah, you want to be strong as well to be fit and healthy.
Well, you need capacity. Of course. I suppose this comes to one of my other things, realizations. So we're talking about wanting to feel better. So I treat a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I'll see a lifter who just goes in and does, whether he does bodybuilding, whether he does powerlifting, whether he does like a hybrid approach. And they get a shoulder injury and they're shut down completely.
Yeah.
Or they get a back injury and they're fucked. Bodybuilders are the same, you know, they get this. Some, don't get me wrong, will manage all sorts of crazy stuff, but they're usually masking it with drugs and other shit.
Yeah.
That's another discussion. But But the thinking, they're shut down pretty quickly. And then a load of other stuff shuts down, right? And then I'll get a rugby player who's carrying about 20 injuries. His shoulder's fucked. his fucking other shoulder's terrible, but it's just not as bad as that one.
His knee's about to go.
Everything. Yeah. His fucking asymmetry's like off the charts, right? And this guy still played every week.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is that? And it's like, because that guy gets out, he runs, he rolls, he crawls, he twists, he turns. Yeah. He has a full movement capacity. And because of that, he is able to continue. Whereas what I'm seeing a lot with lifting, and especially lifting, which I love, and I'm definitely part of, like, when I first started teaching people to lift, I was getting girls who I was training were being told to stay away from me and not to lift weights.
Oh, yeah, of course.
By female trainers, right? Bodybuilders, shit like this.
Yeah.
And it was like, so I've launched that in this town. You know, I've helped a lot more people get into lifting and powerlifting and shit. And it was great. It's dead empowering. But there's a point of diminishing returns. And it's because I lost that bit of everything approach I used to have. And I've specialised too much. And this is what I'm seeing with people who are injured. So I'm seeing that those who have a footballing background or a rugby background or a martial arts background, they make good lifters. Yeah. Until they forget and they get too far away from that. Once you get too far away from that, injuries start. And I think for me, it's because the range of motion and the control and strength through range of motion. I'm not talking about being flexible. No. I've made this quote a few times, but if fucking yoga was going to make back pain better or strength training, it would have done it at this point. Yeah. So we are missing some stuff. Yeah. And I think it's somewhere, like with everything, there's benefit in both. Of course. It's about marrying them.
Damn right.
You know, and that's another thing, another point is that people get so absolutist about what we do.
Yeah, 100%. And again, like I said at the start, I used to be very dogmatic and probably very absolutist myself, but I've had to change, and it's good. I'm glad that my views have changed, and I am not dogmatic anymore. And you can just like open your mind to a load of different things. Because it's like we were saying, it works.
Yeah, you're all right. What's on? It's because you're getting passionate. The hands are going.
That's it, mate. That's it.
I'm enjoying the socks as well.
Thanks, mate.
And the Yeezys.
Oh, the fake Yeezys, these. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Oh, you back on there, mate.
There we go.
Sweet.
So you got a pump on.
Yeah.
You got a pump on while you were a little rig up here.
Yeah. Yeah, going back to what we were saying, like, nothing, you said this before we started, I think, but I was talking to my mate Jason the other day, and we were saying, you know, nothing works, you know, everything's under fire at the moment, you know, he's a big, like, uses a lot of conjugate stuff with people, and that gets shit on, you know, your stuff, I know a lot of people shit on that, a lot of people shit on cupping, on this, that, and the other, and it's just, well, something's got to work down there. If these things have been around for so long, and you can see these results, and something's fucking working. Just because you don't think it is, and you're that dogmatic and narrow-minded.
Yeah, but generally, the people who are bad-moving a lot of things have never done them either.
Yeah, or they have another agenda. Oh, conjugate doesn't work. Use my program instead. Oh, this rehab method doesn't work. Do this instead.
I had a girl come to me. She does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She's done judo for years. She's a jack girl.
Yeah.
You know, she's thick.
Yeah.
Not like overly. She's just thick.
Yeah.
Solid. Because she's been throwing bitches around for years, right?
Yeah.
And she had a few issues. Like she was struggling with sleeping, one of her shoulders. So she's had massage, she had other stuff. I thought, I'll try this. So I released her. And she goes to yoga. And this lady, I believe, does a bit of fascia stuff and other things. I think it's more through, the power of suggestion.
It's Reiki, is it?
I don't know if it's Reiki, but it's something along those lines.
Yeah.
But she's there. She's like, I've just had the best night's sleep I've had in months. And she says, I'm hitting yoga poses that I've not been able to hit.
Yeah.
So there's tangible results. This girl's got it. She understands her body. She trains. Yeah. So she knows her body. Because like someone who trains generally is more in touch with the body than someone who isn't.
Definitely.
But especially if you're doing martial arts and stuff. She has a large class, blah, 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 blah. So she's like, no, it's literally, I've slept. I've had a lot of stuff before, so I know what, stuff feels like. I've definitely moved forward.
Yeah.
No, it's terrible for you. Don't be doing this. And she's going on and she said she's ranting about it. And then somewhere down the line, she mentioned she does her own stuff. And I'm like, well, there we have it.
Yeah.
Because they're not open to the fact that there's something that maybe they don't have or that they don't understand.
Yeah.
Now, not everything's for everyone.
No, of course not.
I could, make an argument that something would help someone. I really can. And I think you need to release that tissue. I've seen a lot of people talking about this recently. I've seen, Matt Bell did a post about it, that basically if you're trying to improve yourself in your mobility, you need to do some sort of fascial release. You need to get that tissue, because it's tough and it does get restricted, and it responds to emotion, it responds to trauma. I see this with people who are, whether they be police, whether they be nurses, doctors.
Stressed.
Yeah, the tissue's shit. Yeah. There's a connection. Then you've got the fact that there's a connection with the lymphatic drainage system, so it's linked with other disorders. Essentially, this thing is so important, and people don't value it. So anything that can improve the function of that, and sometimes people are that much in debt, they're that overdrawn, that they need to, they need to put a repayment plan in place, and that repayment plan is soft tissue work. It is mobility work. It is self-release. But once the idea is to get people from that overdrawn to, neutral, now let's put some credit in, let's start saving. And that's where you keep your moving capacity high and stuff. What I did is I started lifting with my movement balance was, I was great, I was wealthy. I could jump, I could kick, I could twist, I could turn, I could roll, I did all this stuff. And then the more I lifted, it just degraded. It just degraded before I'm like, oh no, I've spent all my savings. And then next thing I'm overdrawn. And then before I know it, the repayments start, and then I'm fucked. And I'm then in this place where I have to oh my God, I've got to reverse engineer this now. Except I've got muscle mass in the way, which has been built but it's been built for a purpose, hasn't it? And that purpose was moving some circles, the best but smallest range of motion I could. Be as efficient as I possibly. I'm only a small guy, so I'm lifting, I've got to be efficient. You don't have room for error. No. So you've got to be efficient. And that's what I did. And I didn't do off-season, I didn't do pre-season, I just smashed it. And then, that's what it is. But my point is that, a lot of people shit on stuff, but it's just try it. And if it isn't for you, it's fine. And I'm also, like I was talking to you before this started, for me, I've got a tool, the literal tools that can get you moving, but that's what it is. It's a tool to get you out of a bad spot.
That's the first step, isn't it?
But we also then have to be like, well, what's your nutrition like? Because Steve always talks about, he said, in an ideal world, we have a place where we have a nutritionist, we have the exercise guys, we have someone doing your bloods and looking at your gut and all that. Because they're all linked.
Of course.
If you've got shit going on with your gut, you've got shit going on with your body, take it from someone who's experienced all this stuff. There's a huge link to your tissue getting out of whack. And I think as we get older, this is what's happening. And I think we're seeing it younger and younger. We're seeing more and more disorders because people are fucking well unhealthy.
Big time.
Like kids and everything.
You're right, big time. Kids, they do, obviously I'm generalising, kids do fuck all, they eat shit. And more kids obviously need to get into lifting, 100%. But saying that, more adults do as well. Just everyone does. The country's just going to shit fitness-wise.
But I think what we need to avoid is this thing that everyone's treating everyone like athletes.
Oh, yeah, no, you're not. You're not an athlete.
Yeah, and like you said, you need to meet the person where they are. Rather than, well, this is what we do, so we're going to get you here. So lad I was talking to yesterday, cool guy, he's like a fireman, he served in military, CrossFit, lifting, doing BJJ.
Right.
Fit guy, in his 40s, looks good. But he's had a lot of injuries too. And he said, Nick, I can, because he, if you get into something, you do well in it, you've got a dog in you, haven't you? You've got that. When you get into, I'm thoroughly convinced if I went to a few CrossFit classes, I would get into it. And I'd want to smash everyone there. And I would break myself to do it. And I know that. I know that's in me because I've done it in multiple things at this point. Right? But, and he was saying, I did that and I broke myself, did that and I broke myself. And he was saying, you go to CrossFit and they would literally tell us, you are athletes.
Right.
You are athletes. And, you and it's and you can feel that culture because there is a bit of sometimes a superiority thing with some of them. Not all of them.
But of course there is.
Because they're jacked, because they're in good shape, because they can do cool things. Just like there is with strong powerlifters, just like there is with strongman. There becomes an arrogance in it. And it's I'm better. And it's okay, you're good at that. But you're still not an athlete. You're not a professional sports person.
No.
I treat a professional sports person, a couple, and it's their life is
is that.
There is nothing else. There is training Monday, Tuesday, recovery Wednesday, see the butcher, as like Shay will call me. Then it's cryo, then it's Normatec, then it's you know what I mean. Then it's see the specialist, then it's nutrition, then it's like it doesn't stop.
Yeah, it's not 9 to 5, go to the gym, repeat 5 days a week.
It is an entire life, and usually, not always, but a lot of time, there isn't room for much else.
Yeah.
I even noticed the difference in, like, Shay, for example, between when he was in season and he come for a treatment versus he came as a season and finished.
Yeah.
And it was almost like he relaxed a bit and we had a bit more of an in-depth conversation than we sometimes would, because he's so mission-focused. Because he has to be.
Yeah.
He isn't focusing on the bullshit of the world. He's not focusing on anything. He is like, I'm going to be the best player I'm going to be.
That's it,
and it's like, and they have that time and resource as well.
Yeah, where the average Joe doesn't. So why would you try and copy someone that does?
Yeah, it's
someone who's getting paid to do that.
And it's like, you know, you look at people's programs, and these are just general people. You know, I mentioned CrossFit before, but it's like within strongman, within powerlifting,
anything.
And you look at how they are lifting.
Yeah,
and you look at the volume they do.
Yeah.
And you are like, and I'm guilty of this, and I'm guilty of programming. I tried to put balance into my program. I always reacted to a need and what I would see. If I seen people getting tight quads, I would try and correct that.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you're following this structure of, you know, lifting multiple times a week. And it's like, we should have probably done that for like 7-8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Then we probably should have done something else.
Yeah.
Maybe some bodyweight skill shit. And again, meeting people with you. Can you do a press up? Great. Let's do a ring one.
Yeah.
Can you do a ring one? Let's do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just progressions.
Which
like
I do with PTs, but in terms of me overall, as a, you know, my gym culture was more based around the lifting more than ever, and it got more and more that way. But I think like, it's just having that balance and understanding that people aren't fucking athletes.
That's it. Yeah.
But most people that I see are training like so, behaving like so, getting down and depressed like they are, you know, and everything is about them is tied to if they have I am talking about myself here.
I've been there as well.
Yeah. But they have a bad day in the gym and it ruins the rest of their day.
Oh, and I've been there, of course. Like, not so much these days, but in the past, you'd let it get to you. And I've had people cry in the gym because they couldn't lift a weight. I'm like, now as you know, I'm a bit more wiser. I'd be like, just chill out. It's just weights. It's weights on a bar. Just chill. You do not need to cry over it. Just relax. We'll just lower the weight, or we'll move on. You know, we'll hit it again next week or whenever we do it. Just relax.
But again, it's like, how did you sleep? How have you ate?
Yeah.
What's your hydration like?
Yeah.
Like simple stuff, really.
Yeah.
Simple stuff that's like, you know, that can make a big difference. But it's also like, you know, how much have you lifted that week?
Yeah.
And, you know, again, like I said before, you're always trying to do more. The answer's always like, well, if I do more, I'll get there quicker. And you will, and then you'll regress.
Yeah.
So it worked really quicker.
Yeah.
It's, people are in a rush, there's all that. But I just see people whose entire, you know, because you see it on social media now.
Of course you do.
And they make their entire persona about it. And when they're not training, not lifting, they don't have anything to post.
Yeah, they're just like shells. Like, oh, shit. What can I do? Oh, no, I'm not lifting.
And they make a place, like this place is really good. So Mac's place is dead cool. It's a good little community.
Yeah, that's what
Mine was.
Yeah.
And it is good. And I think we need more stuff like that. And it is cool.
Same.
But you need outside of that as well.
Yeah.
Because like I see it at Jiu-Jitsu, I see it at other places. You know, great little community, great little team. You got to understand that when you're injured or you're not there, you're probably going to get forgot about.
Yeah, you're on your own. Yeah. You need something outside the gym, definitely.
Yeah. And it's not a nasty thing. It's just these people, their entire lives is dedicated to that.
Yeah.
So once you step outside of that, their usefulness for you has...
Yeah, it's gone. They're
not necessarily your real friends. And I know people don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Because, oh, no, we're dead good friends. You were, because right now you're doing the same thing. You've got shared goals, yada, yada, yada. Just like when I stopped drinking, I lost friends.
Yeah.
Because we no longer had shared goals of getting fucked up.
With nothing in common now to do.
And it's like, so when you get injured, or maybe you go a different direction, or maybe you're recovering from an injury or an event, or you've got some shit going on in your life, these people might not be there for you.
Yeah.
And it's not them being nasty. It's just you had a usefulness. No. And at the minute you don't.
Yeah. This is where you are, mate. This is where you kind of socialise. If you're not there, then sorry, mate. Shit.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
It does suck.
But like, it's a big realization of mine. Like in the recent years, that I had a great group of people. Memory come up the other day. You know, they all got me a belt when we got back from lockdown. They were cool. We all looked after each other. It's good. But you're all there for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not a disrespect to them. It's just,
a common goal.
Yeah, and once that common goal's gone, I don't have a gym anymore, so there's no real use for me in their lives anymore. Maybe the odd bit of advice, and I'm always there for people. I've always made that clear.
Of course. But
yeah, you've got to remember to have stuff outside of it as well.
Yeah, damn
because
right.
it will consume you otherwise. It'll consume so much of you, and then you'll get this. Like I said, there's such a negative thing about, like, a strong athletic identity can get you very far.
Yeah.
You can do really well with it. It'll drive you, you'll go through pain, you'll go through adversity, but it can also put you into a deep depression.
Damn right.
It's an interesting thing, like.
Yeah, but like you said, we need more small, close-knit gyms, definitely, as opposed to the big ones. I'm a big fan of that. I like getting people, even though, like we've just said, it is only for that common goal, getting people together, getting them training.
Look at Westside.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
And that's what I tried to make my own little pound shop Westside, do you know what I mean? I had a group of lifters and a group of guys around me and girls, and we would push each other on.
Yeah.
And it's like, I always used to say, like, I remember when I was first trying to squat 200, right? And I'm like, getting crushed. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking do this. And I kept going. And then one day it goes up. I tell you what, but within months of me doing it, 3 other people had done it.
That's it.
You drag each other on.
If you want to get a newbie strong, get them training with strong people. They're guaranteed they're going to get stronger than they would, definitely on their own. But even in like a commercial setting with their mates, get them with strong people, they'll get strong as fuck. That is it.
Yeah, and they'll learn some shit, and
they will.
It's just, you've got to be careful, because I think I suppose it's a good way to go into this point is when they're around people like that.
Yeah,
that's where they're going to be exposed to other things.
Of course.
So they're going to be exposed to the supplements, to the steroids, they're going to be exposed to that side of things.
Yeah.
And sadly, my experience of a lot of strong people and big people, not always, but normally, they are abusing them far too much.
Damn right.
And they are using them to mask over pain, mask over dysfunction, to mask over just poor recovery,
mask over being weak.
Yeah,
like a lot of this is a bigger topic at my gym at the moment with some of the lads. Not some of the lads there, but people they know or people they've spoke to, and you see these guys doing like the first cycle with a gram of gear. What? So what are you lifting now? Oh, my squat's about 140, bench is about 100 kilo. Deadlift. I don't really deadlift much, but yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, right. What the fuck?
Yeah. And they're usually 19 or something. As well.
Young guys. I'm going to use a little bit, but I'm going to use harsh compounds. You know the ones I mean. Things that you probably wouldn't use first time, second time, maybe even third time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to jump straight on them because they're known to get you strong. So, mate, you've just overstepped here. There's other things that will get you strong. You need to build them foundations before you even think about this shit.
Look, the muscle tissue will adapt far quicker than anything else.
Yeah.
Tendons and ligaments won't.
Yeah.
They take a long time.
Yeah.
You have to load them and load them and load them and load them.
Yep.
And the muscles overtake them, and that's where tendons fly off.
Yeah, it is, especially.
And usually, because we've also got this phenomenon now that in strength sports, particularly strongman and powerlifting, of weight categories, and people are cutting. They're making weight categories in under 80s, under 90s, and they're like 10 kg heavier.
Yeah.
So they are constantly training in a depleted state.
Yeah.
So they're constantly under eating, under recovering, and they're using the gear to get through it.
Yeah.
And then wondering why shit's falling apart.
Yeah.
It's like, you need to just have a break and eat.
Or they get the blood work done. It's like, oh yeah, I look really healthy. I look jacked on the outside, but inside I am fucked.
Yeah.
What is going on?
My liver enzymes are up with shit like that. So it's like, they've not done any fucking bloody hell. The red blood, the
hematocrit and
hematocrit levels are up. The blood pressure's up, and they don't know why. It's like, 'cause your blood's thick as fuck at the minute, and that's a factor if you're using gear, especially if you're using multiple compounds.
Yeah.
It's like, look, the amount of people who I believe are walking around with a hormone imbalance, and this isn't people who are trained.
No, just in general.
There's a lot.
From more than lifestyle.
Because
definitely.
lifestyle. Because of chemicals, because of food, because of stress, because of a lack of physical activity.
Yeah.
Just because generation on generation we are going down.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also the ones who did gear when they were young.
Yeah.
And I meet a lot of these. They're still looking okay, but the drive's gone. They keep starting and stopping, they're injured. And it's like, mate, you've probably had low T since you came off.
Yeah.
And that's a factor I think that people don't understand, is that if you're going to go on,
it is a lifetime. In my opinion.
My opinion is the same.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of people. I've seen a lot of things.
Yeah.
If you were going to do them, because I've seen people who've just never bounced back, they're a different person.
Yeah.
Because you've affected your hormones.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, for some people, it's definitely an improvement. They feel better.
Yeah.
They feel a lot better. They feel like more confident. And people mistake it as just being a thing about lifting and training. It's not.
No, not at all.
It's about how you feel as a person, how you feel as a man. And I've seen it do great things for many people.
Yeah.
But I've also seen a hell of a lot of negative. But the negative isn't necessarily the compounds. It's just what these people are doing. Yeah. Whether it be, like I said, they're cutting too much and not eating enough and recovering and taking high amounts to compensate for that. Maybe they're just too young and starting out. Maybe, like, fucking build a 200 key squat and deadlift first. Yeah. At least. Yeah. Minimum.
Yeah.
Probably £500.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take you a few years. Yeah. You're going to have to build tendons. You're going to have to build ligaments. You're going to have to build coordination. You're going to have to build all the things that are going to support you through your journey. Yeah. And then take a small amount. Yeah. But understand that even that small amount will change you forever.
Damn right.
And you need to just go, if I'm going to do this, this is what I'm going to do. I'm on this path.
Yeah. It's a big decision to make.
Make sure you thought about kids. Make sure you thought about, like, what age are you? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, wait. But people don't.
It's a big, people say, I'll do one cycle. Yeah, all right. Yeah, you do one cycle, I'm sure. Yeah. And then I'll come off, I'll get all the PCT and that. And then they get the cost for it. It's like, do I really need PCT or out? I'm only going to do one cycle. No, I'll just leave it. And then they come off cold turkey. And that's when I see the drop. The big freaking drop.
I met people try and kill themselves and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, we're, I don't think we're making light of it, but you know what I mean? It's a real serious thing. People are doing real damage. And there's coaches who are doing this.
Yeah.
There's coaches.
Pushing it.
I've had people, like, come into me, they're injured. And, like, I'm like, okay, this is what's going on here. They foot the back up. Everything's just tight and tense. They've absolutely hammered the body. And you're like, okay, so what'd you do? Okay, that's a decent lift. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, what were you taking? Oh, well, I was on a, 500 milligram of test, and I was on like 500 milligram of tren. I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah, what?
And you're still carrying on this list?
Yeah.
And you're like...
Yeah, I'm on a load of Winstrol every day. Oh, right, there we go.
I was taking this to counteract this, and then pre-workout I was taking this, and it's like, whatever happened to, a bit of testing? Like,
yeah. One or two compounds, just
a nice amount, like, just to get some, to get some strength gains and blah, blah, blah. But, like, what are you doing? And, like, you're wondering why everything's falling apart. Like, you were too strong for your own good.
Yeah.
And you've not earned it.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be taken away from you.
Body's rebelling.
And you'll probably never, not never, but you're going to struggle to get back to that height again.
Yeah.
Because there is substances out there like Anadrol that'll they put muscles on people's toes.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's powerful, but Jesus Christ, use that wisely.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying use with caution. Anything.
Yeah, anything. Well, you just said something before. I think it was they're taking things to counteract things or something similar.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that really gets me, because they're taking so much gear, grams of testosterone or whatever. So then they
I hear 1,000 milligrams often, like
like it's nothing. But then they're having to take all these AIs to counteract that, which come with their own side effects. Or they're taking tren or something and they can't sleep, so now they've got to take diazepam or Xanax, and it's just a vicious cycle. Like, I'm taking too much of this, so now I need to add this drug so I can sleep. I need to add this drug to lower my estrogen because I'm taking too much testosterone that's just converting into more estrogen. It's just a plethora of sides and shit.
Yeah, so I know a lad who does bodybuilding coaching. Big lad, guy's the size of a fridge.
Yeah.
American fridge, he has to turn sideways when he walks through a door.
Yeah.
And I just watched him eat and eat and eat. It's like, it is his job.
Yeah.
When he's not eating, he's doing his blood sugar. You know what I mean? Yeah. He is fucking dedicated. Yes, he takes multiple compounds.
Yeah.
But he's very careful about the amounts he takes. He monitors everything. But then on top of that, when he's working with people, the first thing he does is he takes the gear right down.
Yeah.
And he puts the food right up.
Yeah.
That's the first thing he does.
That's a big thing.
Because that's usually, most people, the gear's far too high and the food's far too low and the sleep's far too low.
And what's more anabolic? Eating. There's nothing like, you can have all the drugs in the world, but if you're not eating, you're not going to build anything.
No, it's like I said to you today. It's like, I'm like, man, I've leaned out, I'm feeling good, but today I just felt depleted.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, you've pushed this now.
Yeah.
You've leaned out, you've fucking looking alreght. You're basically at that stage where I'm looking less good in a shirt, better out of a shirt. That stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I go to the sauna, I'm like, hey, and then I put my t-shirt back on, I'm like, oh. I'm in the gym doing a video, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, but at the same time, I've not had that many carbs at all for the last few weeks. So like you said, when I'm coming here, I'm eating pineapple, I'm going to go and have some white rice after this.
Yeah.
But don't think, what more do I need to do? Like, what do I need to do a bit less of? You know what I mean? What do I need to add a bit more in? Like, in terms of, like, food. Don't think I need a substance, I need another training plan. It's like, well, maybe you just need to sleep a bit more. Yeah. And maybe to facilitate that, you need some more carbs. Yeah, because it can be that simple.
Your programming, it's just like the cherry on top, mate. You could do any kind of program with enough intensity and, eating enough and committing enough, and you'll make gains.
But most people, I think, and this is probably a good point to round things up. So I feel like, and I've seen this in powerlifting a lot. So when I was around the powerlifters, I was a bit like you'd have some cool guys, but a lot of them were like there's no atmosphere. There's no, like, for me, I watch West Side, I see that, and I love that.
Yeah, of course.
Let's get the music blasting, let's get the smelling salts going, let's do all this, like, let's have a bit of, let's go for it. And that's my culture. We were kind of just like, we had one squat rack, and a load of bars. We'd deadlift heavy and we'd do barbell complexes. That's what we did multiple times a week. And then we'd squat together and then, that was easy. Let's put some chains on it. Let's put some bands on it. Let's strain. Oh, that was hard. Let's try that again. And it was just, that was it. We were just fucking around. And then I didn't do a peaking program. I did my first powerlifting comp, did okay. I won, but it was more a technical win, because I was like the best well-rounded powerlifter. Right, it was a beginner's comp, so it was just but it was at Adlington, and I respect all them guys. So it meant a lot to me, because my technique was good. I picked my lifts well. And it was like, oh, that was cool. My benching, I think I was benching with the girls at that point. It's like you had lads who were like 70 key benching 150, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay, this is another world. But that was a good thing, exposing me off that world. But I was like, okay, I'll get into powerlifting now. I did some peaking, and it definitely helped. But then I would like go to these powerlifting comps, and I'd be like, there's no atmosphere. You talk to people, and I don't want to say they didn't have heart, right? But I felt like these people had never grinded a lift out. Yeah. Because I'd have some of these guys after we'd do a comp, or they'd do a comp at mine, and they'd come and train. Yeah. And we'd be like, right, we're maxing on the hex bar today. Yeah. You're jumping in. And they didn't know how to max. Yeah. And these are people who've done powerlifting comps.
Which is 9 max effort lifts.
Yeah. Well, let's say 3. Yeah. Let's say 3 max effort lifts. Yeah. If you pick them well. It depends. Sometimes, like, I've done, last one I did 2 because I went for a max dead, and then I went for max again because basically I knew I only had one good lift in me. Yeah. So I was like, because I was fucked, and I was like, right, let's do my main lift now, and if we get anything else, fuck it. Yeah. Gravy, some guy gives some dodgy pre-workout. Yeah. Basically, my mate who was drug tested was advised not to take it. Right. And he was like, none for you. Yeah. I was like, okay, well, this will be whatever.
I'll have it,
Yeah, why not? But anyway, they didn't know how to grind. Yeah. They hadn't spent enough time for me just in the gym, getting strong,
learning
just
how to lift heavy.
Just like, let's see. Yeah. They'd like you said, they got to the 100 key and they're already going, should I do 5-3-1? Should I do conjugate? Should I do should I do the
cube? Should I do
Yeah, like, and they knew all these programs, and I'm like, I only learned about these when I was already squatting 230. You know what I mean? It was like I just followed a very basic linear periodization, and that was the first thing I thought, and it helped. It added I think it added 20 key to 2 of my lifts just because I channeled my strength properly.
Linear's good. People shit on linear now. This is going way back to the start again. People shit on linear now. Linear's sound. So long as it's working, linear is awesome. Like, starting strength, that is one of probably the best.
I like loads.
Yeah, for newbies. If you do what it says, you eat the food, you drink the milk, you do the lifts, as he said, you will get big and strong in the first year.
I got my first 200 lifts following that advice. 100%. His videos, I liked how he squatted. I liked it. It suited me great.
Yeah.
It was it was some great advice. I think there's something to it. I think you need to look at the West Side philosophy of you get detrained.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you do, but that's where, for me, that's where you add your variety in.
Yeah.
Your GPP. Yeah. GPP. You always confuse. I always confuse it. But your sled pulls, your functional fitness, which seems to have gone out of fashion recently.
It'll come back in vogue. It always does.
It does.
But it should stay. I know what you're saying.
Because a sledgehammer swing is good because it's multiplanal.
Of course it is.
A tyre flip is great because it's awkward. Like
a lot of powerlifters, it's very 2D and it's down and up.
I think even it's even from strongman, some of the awkward objects. There's some, but some like tyres seem to have disappeared a little bit.
Yeah. But some, they bring in some daft ones now. I can't remember what, but there's always some odd event, which I'm just like, why?
And they just try and make them heavier and heavier.
Yeah, and
beginners comps are ridiculous. And it's only fueling this culture of too much gear and, not enough training and not enough experience. Like beginners comps were like 200 deadlift for reps.
Yeah.
You're like...
And that's the good and bad thing about strongman comps is, obviously, powerlifting, weightlifting, you know what you're doing every time. Squat, bench, deadlift, snatch, clean and jerk. Strongman, going from one comp to the other could be totally different. You could have axle for reps in one, it could be max log in the other. So it's good, but it's hard to train to get good at one certain.
You know what? They should probably just not tell them.
You can just turn up on
so they have to be fucking strong and prepared.
Yeah, like the odd lifts competitions.
Just turn up so you can do this shit.
Yeah.
This is beginners. This is fucking novice. This is advanced.
Yeah.
You turn up and it's like, we're going to put 10 girls on this bar and squat it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Old school. Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, we're going to throw a car over. We're going to, I don't know, just like, because people prepare, don't they, and specialise. And I think if you just have to be strong and fit.
Yeah. Just all round strong. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, CrossFit does a bit of that, doesn't it, where they throw it. And they've said adopting, like, some of the strongman stuff.
CrossFit's good at doing a lot of things, just nothing particularly really well. Yeah, it does strongman, it does powerlifting, it does weightlifting.
Well, I think if I remember right, there's Gymnastics Bodies, which is a guy called Christopher Somner, and he started off with CrossFit as one of the founders. And he, as he put it, he left because of kipping pull-ups.
Right,
that was the last straw. Yeah. But he said, like, his thing is, it's like this gymnastic stuff takes years to develop.
Yeah,
to do it properly.
Yeah,
and he said, if you look, the Olympic lifting are actually getting better at, and they're improving that, and they're getting better with it. He said, but like the gymnastic stuff, yes, they can do some stuff. He said, I just don't see it getting better, in my opinion. Because it's something that you need to spend a lot. Like, I've done bodyweight training, man. It's the most unrewarding, boring shit you will ever do. But it's not necessarily boring. It depends how you take it, but it's hard. There's no, your ego's got to go.
Yeah.
Because you will literally move around on your elbows a bit, move around your forearms a bit, roll your wrists, do this, that, and the other. And you're like, okay, I'm wrecked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've spent time doing it where I've done a lot less lifting and more of that stuff, and it's very, very hard.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not going to develop that while you're also doing an Olympic lift for reps. Yeah. While you're doing multiple pull-ups, while you're doing like
into tire flips.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like that's the test, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, and that's the problem. The workouts that they're doing, they're really a test.
Yeah. All the WODs are tests. They're usually timed, aren't they? Most of them. It's like do as many rounds in 10, 20 minutes.
If you're doing that, I don't know about once a week, maybe once a month.
Yeah, but the conditioning, cool.
Right, but then it's like, okay, Mondays we Olympic lift.
Yeah.
Wednesdays we do gymnastics. Because I think it's great. I think the bodies it produces, I think like, but I'm like, what's the shelf life on it? How long are you doing that for?
Yeah.
And how do you, again, my thing is, so going back to the functional patterns, dude, he's like everything shit. And I'm like, no, it's not. Lifting's great, fucking CrossFit's great, strongman's great, it's all great.
Everything's great.
It's running's great, it's all great.
Yeah.
It's just how do we make people more equipped to do it?
Yeah.
Because I always say the best thing anyone can do is the thing you actually fucking enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So there's no point going, fucking powerlifting's the only way forward. It's amazing, it's better than everything else, it shits on everything. Yeah, but some people just don't fucking like.
And if you don't enjoy it, you're going to be shit at it, guaranteed.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, what principles can we apply to that? And that's something that, okay, I like about you and I like about what I see your training. So when I watch the training you've done over the years, whether it be bodybuilding style training, whether it be powerlifting, whether it be a hybrid of the two, is it's reminiscent of an old school bodybuilder.
Yeah.
In terms of full range of motion.
Yeah.
Lance detaching.
Yeah.
Rounding of the back.
Yeah.
Full ROM. in multiple ways. And as well as that, actually going for it.
Yeah.
You know, and not being afraid to lose form here and there. Yeah. Not being afraid to push, but not so much that you're just posting loads of dog shit lifts.
Yeah.
You strain when it's appropriate, probably more than you should, as we all do. But generally, you try to channel it and you're careful about it. But my point is, like, I always look at like Arnold's and people like that.
Yeah, damn right.
And you look at how they trained and you look at the range of motion they used to use. Yes, they used to do powerlifts and stuff, and powerlifters like to cling on to that. Well, Luke, they did the squats and like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, they did. But they also did a full range of motion on a lot of other stuff that probably helped the squats and shit as well.
Yeah.
You need to look at that too.
Yeah.
Look at like Eddie Cody. He used to do some bodybuilding shit in his training.
That's good. We had to.
But he also was another one, back to our point before, so what programs did you follow? He said, well, once I could squat and dead like 500 pounds, I started following programs.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of powerlifters and people miss.
Yeah. Go
in and fuck around. Yeah. Don't worry about a fucking program so soon.
Well, it's what you were saying, when you had the whole crew together and you had one squat rack and that was too heavy, that wasn't heavy enough, let's add chains. That is not, on paper, that is not optimal, is it? You put that online now, someone's going to be like, well, you shouldn't have been doing that, but it fucking got you strong, didn't it?
Everyone got strong.
Yeah, everyone got strong.
We had multiple people squat well over 200. We had multiple people deadlift over 250, 270, raw as well, not fucking, hitching suits and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We produced some good lifters in a relatively short space of time.
Yeah.
Because we had a culture of experimentation. Yeah. And just fucking go for it.
And it sounds like you were having fun as well, which is probably the big thing.
What I'm now realising is that I'm very critical of myself and what I've done because I'm always trying to improve upon it.
Yeah.
So like, okay, what did I do to people there? What did I rob them of, movement-wise? And that's where now the understanding I have is like, right, and what I'm trying to reverse engineer. And this is my work at the minute. Mm-hmm. It's trying to hack human body and movement. Not in I want people crawling around like an animal kind of way. Just in fundamental movement patterns and like, how do I restore them quickly? Okay, your back's out of sync. What can I give them that they just do that's a little drill that's just going to switch those muscles back into place?
Yeah.
Okay, I might need to release that and release this. Then I need to connect them. And once I've done that, we can then bridge that back to what they want to do. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. And I'm like, what stuff? And if I had, basically the tools that I would have had, and if I'd have done them and I'd have focused on them, I wouldn't have broke myself. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, mate. And I love that. I love all your stuff. Yeah, I love seeing it and you putting it in action. And I can't wait to see what you do next.
You just got to do it. Have a mission.
That's it.
Try and improve. That's our job.
Yeah.
Our job isn't to parrot what we see. Yeah. It isn't to parrot what's come before us. It's to use our experience and the stuff that's come before us to try and gain a new perspective.
Yeah.
To try and figure some shit out. Yeah. To try and just go, okay, well, here's where that's great, but here's where I think it's falling down. Okay, I think getting people lifting is great. Yeah. But I'm seeing a lot more people in pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is that? And what can we inject into that to not
rectify?
Well, I don't think the answer is to go, oh, that shit, don't do it.
No.
That's not going to get you anywhere.
No.
You're just creating a cult. You're creating your own church. You're creating your own you're becoming Jesus. And that's what's because that's what they're all cults.
No, that's it.
It's all a cult. And that's another thing that I feel better being on my own at the minute.
Yeah.
And just because I'm like, I create a cult. That's what everyone does. Mm. Like, this place is great. It's a cult. That place over there, that's a cult too.
Yeah.
Like jiu-jitsu cult. Not in a nasty way.
No, but it's your own little space, isn't it? Your little pocket.
And it can be stifling. Yeah. Them environments can be stifling, particularly if you're the Jesus and you're the leader and you're trying to like justify all the things you've done for the last couple of years. Yeah. And you're having some revelations and you're like, well, how do I fit this into what I'm doing? Mm-hmm. And it's quite hard when you built a business around a certain thing.
Yeah, of course it is. But again, going back to the start when I said I used to be really dogmatic, as you kind of grow and evolve, I think you can still be that leader because, I mean, as a coach, you're going to be, aren't you? They're coming to you. But you can kind of, pick and choose what you take from people and kind of evolve your training and your coaching, which I think is what you're
probably a good way to round it up. I've said this a lot recently. I was talking about it in martial arts. So in martial arts, what a lot of coaches do is they take someone and they might have, like I had a karate background when I got into MMA. Yeah. And they stifle it. Rather than going, okay, this guy might have some stuff the other guys don't have, let's work with it. Yeah. they go, well, no, that all needs to be forgotten. I'm going to inject this one style that we all do into you.
Right.
And that's the thing that happens in martial arts, that it should be the Bruce Lee philosophy, because that's how it all started. That's how mixed martial arts started, with Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Discard what is useless.
Yeah.
Absorb what's useful. And discard what's useless, absorb what's useful, and make it uniquely your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what it should be in everything.
Of course.
But we create these churches and these communities.
Everyone else is wrong but me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it becomes stifling, and it stops you from growth, because you know what? The CrossFitters can learn a lot from the strongmen, the powerlifters, and vice versa. Of course. The martial artists can learn from them guys too. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's like the old thing with surgery. If everything's like, if all you've got's a hammer, everything's a nail. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, it's the same thing, and that's what I see. I'm like, I call myself hybrid, because I was coming from a martial arts background. Yeah. I was into lifting to support that, and I didn't want to just be this guy who was the martial arts guy, and I wanted to make my own thing. And I see merit, and I like bodybuilding as well, so I was like, I see merit in it all. Yeah. But I lost that along the way when I got heavily into the powerlifting. Yeah. And I've seen the folly of that, and I'm like, no. If anything, a lot of what I'm doing now is I'm trying to get back to that guy who was very well-rounded, who had a big movement capacity and athletic capacity. Yeah. And I'm like, no, there's a huge benefit to that. I undervalued that when I got into lifting. I undervalued the value of that athletic ability. Yeah. That's the reason I took to lifting and did well, because of that. And that movement and flexibility, all these other things.
Yeah, like background in it. Yeah, yeah.
And I see it now time and time again with others, and it's like, it's no coincidence. Yeah. That's what we're missing. And we're missing like this capacity to move, this capacity to perform. I'm not saying everyone has to be the fucking, like, an elite soccer player.
No, of course not.
But they do, I think they'll benefit from, like, some of those aspects. Being able to twist, to turn, to change direction, to jump. Yeah.
Which should be fundamental, really, shouldn't it? It's sad that people cannot do these things.
So how many people do you know who are strong, who lie them on the back and tell them to get up?
Yeah.
And how many do you think will look like a fucking turtle?
Probably 9 out of 10.
A lot?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or get down on the floor.
Yeah.
Like, I've been there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll roll over.
Yeah.
Bet you can't. I bet a lot of them can't even do that basic that you learned when you was a kid. And that's what you've lost. Yeah. You've lost those fundamental movement patterns that made you. Yeah. It's a mad thing, man. Man. I think we've covered some good points there.
We have, mate. We have.
Gives us some material to work with, and I think that's nice.
Yeah, man.
We'll leave it there.
Sweet.
That's us figuring shit out. 1 hour 7.
Nice, mate.
Not a bad little time,
that flew, to be honest.
I know, but that's the thing. You could keep going, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.